everyone, BigFriendlyWarGamer here, bringing another ramble to you. Be sitting and painting for roughly about an hour, like I normally do. First off, I'm going to show you what I've got on my desk. There's not a lot this week, purely because I'm trying to get things finished. But you'll see when I turn the camera around, you'll see. So I'm going to do that right now. So basically, we've got the last 7 miniatures from Blackstone Fortress on my desk. We've got, so I'll show you each one. We've got the Elder Ranger. Now, I've been doing some work on him over the past week or so. The white armour is currently drying. It's got a shade on it. It's not focusing too well. It's there you go. So I've done the thorn pattern on his cloak. It's not particularly well done, but I've got to clean that up because his long rifle broke. So I've got to clean that up a little bit. But yeah, that's the Elder Ranger. We've got the robot, which is UR025, he's nearly done, to be honest. I've got to shade some more silver. I want to bring that gun barrel up to a nice hot metal look, and then I've got to paint his eyes, which are there, and then he's more or less done. Oh, and I've got to do base. All of these I've got to do bases. We've got 2 rogue psychers. That guy, who at the moment all they've got is their flesh painted and not much else. We've got the Thaddeus the Purifier, who's the priest, who's I painted his robes. We've got the Zealot, who Pyrus Vaughn, I think her name is, who's undercoated. That's it. And then we've got the big bad boss man, who's just undercoated as well. So yeah, so that's my Blackstone Fortress set. Once these are complete, let's zoom back out. My whole set will be finished, which would be nice because I tend to buy these box games and not actually finish painting them. But yeah, they're releasing expansions like this guy. Now this is the dreaded Amble and his 2 spawn. He should be a relatively easy model to paint and quite quick. But I'm not gonna. I built him. I'm not gonna actually paint him until these other guys are done. We've got the 3 Death Guard that I finished last week. We've got a load of Necromunda bases because I played Necromunda last Monday, and obviously no models because they're Dilac and they're all stealthy and stuff. No, the models are on other bases, so I could actually play with them. And these guys, I just wanted to paint the bases separately because they're detailed bases. And then we've got the good old Triarch Stalker, who I can't ever seem to get finished. Kind of bugging me now, and he's on the verge of being put back away in a case, to be honest. But we'll see. Right, so I'm going to set the camera up and I'm going to get painting. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is apply the last bit of shade, because I painted this guy silver in stages, purely because I was falling asleep and I was making a mess of it, so I stopped and I went back to it later. Just got some Nuln Oil and got my smaller, not my proper wash brush, my number 2 brush for Winsor Newton, and it's going to pick out the bits that I actually missed earlier. So yeah, so it's been an alright week. Tonight is my 4th night on shift. I'm working all weekend, yay. But it looks like the contract isn't going to expire in September like we thought it was, so it looks like I'll have work for the foreseeable future, which is great. It means I miss my club, but it does mean that I can pay bills and stuff, so it's pretty good. And now that my laptop's near enough paid off, I can start saving money again, which is the whole aim. When I was getting back to working, I was going to start saving money again, and now I can. Don't want ink there. So yeah, so since I last did one of these, the Games Workshop have released the contrast paints. They go on sale tomorrow. They're a pre-order, and they sold out mostly. I've got none of them. I wasn't really that bothered. I'll get to them later, maybe. Just really not that fussed. The way that I paint, I've got a set way. Contrast would change it totally, so I'm quite happy just stepping back and letting people who need them grab them for now, and I might try them a bit later. So that's his shading done. Let's see how close the armour is to being dry on the Elder. It's nice when you paint blacks like sets like this. I mean, I've never painted a Beltan Elder before, and yeah, it's quite nice to paint something different. I've definitely got to file that long rifle down though, because it looks a right mess. I won't do that right now. Right, so his armour is looking quite dry now, so I'm going to go and give it, reinstate the base colour, and then I'll work up from there. So he's got green cloaks and white armour. So yeah, this isn't how I normally paint white. I normally paint white quite differently, but as you've seen with my World Eaters, but this is a different kind of white to my World Eaters. So for this we're going to use a small brush, and this is just basically going to pick out all the armour plates. It was just quite easy to do because the model itself is quite detailed. So if you hear me yelling out, I've got a saucepan at my feet with stripped models in it, and I may kick it. Because yeah, that's the other thing I've been doing this week. I've been stripping some models for a friend at the club. Lots of old metal Space Wolves, and I had one day where I just basically did that rather than paint, so I've got to have another day where I do that as well, and I'll probably do it over the weekend or one of the days next week, but we'll see. I just know I've got to get it done. But yeah, work's been normal. We had a issue last night, so we didn't get a lot of work done, which was out of our control, but that's fine. And I wanted to get some painting done today, because I haven't done a hell of a lot of painting in the past week or so. I mean, I finished my Death Guard last week. I got some models finished last weekend, which was good. Can't actually remember. Oh yeah, it was the 2 Rattlings from Blackstone Fortress, the 4 Beastmen, and then the 3 Death Guard models that I finished. So yeah, I've been doing okay. I want to crank up the painting, the number that I'm finishing, so I'm going a bit slow of late, but I mean, if I can get these 7 finished, if I can ever get that Triarch Stalker finished as well, that'll put me on 17 for the month so far. We're about halfway through. I was aiming for about 27. So I may have to crack out some more Tyranids or something. Something that's nice and quick and easy. Or maybe some more skeletons. I don't know yet. So I want to keep myself on course for finishing my 200 by end of next month, which is very doable at the moment. So I think I passed the 150 models mark last week, painted for the year. No, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing the rambles and stop painting and stuff, because I'm not. Just means I'm going to be focusing some more time on something a bit bigger. I'm trying to have building model sessions before I go to work as well, so I'm doing what I've got to do, get ready for work, get showered, and then basically while I'm watching TV, excuse me, I'm just building some models. So I started building some bloodletters last night. Got the 10 bloodletters still to build. They're half done now. So I should finish them tonight. And it'll just be a case of, because I'm working all weekend, just grabbing another box set and start building. So I'm aware that my build pile is pretty big. Now some stuff I can't build, like the submarines for my world eaters, but that's fine. But others I can. I'm just trying to make some space for myself because I'm a bit fed up with living in a very cluttered room. I even went as far as to put a load of old stuff in a tub and put it out in our storage shed the other day. So yeah, so that's the armour, the first layer of armour done on him, or her, sorry, it's a female, quite obviously it's a female. And the next stage will be some Ulthuan Grey, and then afterwards we're going to go with White Scar. Let's put him down there so he's out of the way. And while I've got the White Scar out, I may actually do a little bit more edge highlighting on the Triarch Stalker, but depends on if I'm in the mood for it or not. So yeah, next week I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Kind of off Friday night as well. So hopefully I'll get another ramble in next Friday. But try and keep them regular to Fridays rather than getting them shifted across days of the weekend. No guarantees though. I'm just in the mood for painting a lot at the moment, so I am painting. Now, at some point I've got to start painting my Dilac gang. I've got to start painting my Human Blood Bowl team. And I've got to start painting my Battlefleet Gothic fleet. So I've got plenty of stuff to do. Just whether I get round to it all or not. Now, I've been playing Battlefleet Gothic with unpainted stuff, but relatively easy models to paint, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I might have to get some blue spray paint though. because my fleet was always blue, red and gold, so yeah, with the new contrast paints coming out, I know I keep going back to these, but there's a lot of videos going up at the moment about them. Guerrilla Miniature Games are doing them. Mini Wargaming are doing about them. Obviously, Games Workshop are filling the news feed with them, so to speak. And it's fine. Like I said, I'm not getting any, not yet. What I might hold on for is generally at Christmas they do a whole like a mega paint set. Well, they used to. We'll see if they do, and I might buy that and start with my paints fresh, because there's times when I'm like, some of my paints are quite blodgy at the moment. Blodgy is the wrong word. Like they've got big lumps in it, and to be honest they should be thrown away, but I keep using them because mix a bit of medium in and they seem to be okay. But basically when paints get to that stage you shouldn't really use them anymore. But yeah, painting this model has actually got me wanting to start back on my Harlequins again. Now, I haven't painted Harlequins on here for a long time. I think I've done them, last time I did was last year. I was painting Harlequins, but yeah, I might grab a couple out, because I've got a load of, if you can see these, which you can't, I've got a load of bases ready for them. Which I've got them all on stands, so I'm actually going to spray paint them. Hopefully on my days off, if the weather is any good. But we'll have to see. Yeah, because basically my Harlequins have got bases anyway, but they're not the bases that I intended them to go on, because all the skimmers that I have for Harlequins, they're all on Age of Sigmar bases. It just looks like Elder Runes, which is exactly what I wanted for them, so I'm going to put all my actual Harlequin troops on bases like that as well, if I can. I've got a feeling there's going to be some that I'm not going to be able to take off their bases they're on, but I might be able to do a bit of work with that. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. It's quite nice doing when you've got detailed bases like these. It's quite straightforward as to how to paint them. And don't get me wrong, you can paint them as you like. You don't have to paint them the silver and the bronze that I have there, but I think they look pretty cool. So that's that layer done. Now all that's left on her is a bit of white scar for the armour, and then I've got obviously the weapons and everything else to do. She seems to have like leather trousers on, and she's got like leather on her arms as well, so I'll get to them eventually. But yeah, let me grab the white scar and may even do some work on the Triarch Stalker. Yeah, this painting rack, having looked at the new paint pots, I'm pretty sure all of them are just a little bit smaller than that size. I could be wrong, but it looks like that because of the pricing as well now. The pricing seems to have gone up quite a bit. Which no one's really brought any attention to that, but you know. So my painting rack is going to be quickly come out of use because it can't hold the bigger pots. So I'm going to be starting to look for a decent painting rack setup. I would like just a normal, like a set of drawers, small set of drawers that I could put on my desk and use as painting drawers, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to look for a full painting rack. And with this white scar, I'm just going to do almost edge highlights. So leaving a lot of the grey that's there and just hitting the edges of the grey. And then the armour's more or less done, so it's a case of moving on to all the other bits and pieces that she's got on her cloak and armour and stuff. So yeah, so Necromunda was good last week. Played 2 games. It was enjoyable, I think. I think my opponent enjoyed the games. Now see, my game overpowered here is purely for the fact that I had more models than him. And quite a few more as well. I think he had 6, I had 10. That's quite big. I was able to gang up on him and take him out. And there's too much paint there. But yeah, it was a couple of good games. So but it was nice playing Necromunda again. It's been such a long time since I played that. And it does seem to be, I'm going through a bit of a nostalgia trip at the moment with my wargaming. I'm playing games from when I was a kid a lot, which is great. Yeah, they're new editions and stuff like that for it, but they're still the same old game that I remember. So it's good playing it. Like Battlefield Gothic is still the same edition, it hasn't changed because Games Workshop don't currently support it. I say currently purely because there's rumours flying around everywhere all the time, so Games Workshop could pick it up again at some point, and I hope they do. It'd be nice to see new models and stuff for it. Now this long rifle actually snaps twice, but I'm pretty sure it's the same place. So it is the same place. But there's a lot of talk on the internet about her long rifle does snap quite often. Right, so I've finished her armour. I'm going to put her up there, and we're going to jump onto this Triarch Stalker and do some more edge highlighting on this. I keep putting this off purely because there's so much edge highlighting to do on it. It seems like it's never going to be done. And I know if I do it in little bits and pieces, eventually it will be finished, but you know, it's the same that I had with the BattleUX. I eventually just got on with it and they were done. So but literally, if I decided to do this on camera, this would probably take me the next 2 rambles to do. So it'll take me a few hours to get all this edge highlighting done, I reckon. Might not take that long. I could be totally over exaggerating, but I think it will. So next week, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be at the club. Monday is my last day on shift, so it's not really the best idea if I go to the club. I plan to be resting up and taking it easy on Monday, so probably not going to be there. But the following Monday, I'm not sure, because it's my fourth night on shift. I'll see. But I need to call my agency later today and talk to them about this whole what's happening if the contract's not complete and stuff. So I could probably get away with dry brushing some of this, but it won't give me the edge highlight that I want for the model, so I'm not going to. I think I did a little bit on my Doomsday arcs. I did dry brush. I could be wrong, but I think I did. Strictly speaking, these don't even have to be the same colour as my Necron Dynasty, because Praetorians aren't really aligned to the dynasties, they're a separate thing, but I thought it looked quite cool in this colour scheme, even if it is going to be frustrating to do. And then I didn't want it to stand out from my army anyway, so it doesn't help these long legs being in the way all the time, but the story of my life, my long legs being in the way, so so yeah, so the next set of models that I'm actually going to start building in my hour or two before work are the I've got a squad of Space Marine Reavers, Primaris Reavers, which I haven't touched. Haven't had them that long, to be honest, so it's not too bad. But But other things that I've still got to build, I've got some more Khorne Berserkers. I've got a lot. I've got more Adeptus Titanicus stuff. So I've got a Reaver Titan, 2 Warhounds, a Warlord, some Knights. I don't think I've got much in the way of Necrons to build. I know I've got the Canoctip Sentinel, I think it is, the Forge World one, but that's a really intricate kit, and I can't do that in quickly. So it's a very intricate kit. It's really small parts. Well, you see these feeder tentacles that I'm actually painting now. It's got legs. The Sentinel's got legs on it which are smaller than that, and it's got lots of them. So I'm gonna save that for when I'm in the mood. And plus, half these models I've got nowhere to store them at the moment. So the Reavers I know I have, the Bloodletters I know I have got space for. Next week I'm going to be buying a case for my Death Guard. Got my Iron one now. Because they're growing to the size where they can't just fit in with my Chaos, my Black Legion anymore, because they're overflowing. The case is a bit big. As you've seen, I've had these rhinos that I've finished painting ages ago. I've had them out on my desk now for weeks, because I just haven't got any case space for them. So they are going to get a case of their own at last. So I think what I'm going to do is try and get this limb edge highlighted. It's going to take me a while, but we're going to try and get it done today. At least then the 2 big legs are done, and then it's just a case of the 4 other legs, the pilot, and it's never ending, I tell you. So where I was painting last week, I was catching up on the YouTubers that I follow. So I've watched Mini Wargamer Jay's Paint with Jay, caught up on them. I've watched some of the Duncan and Peachy's paint thing. Can't remember what it's called, but that thing that they do on Twitch. I actually haven't watched the what's it called, Way of the Brush, for quite a while now. So yeah, these are all shows that I watch on YouTube while I'm painting. So it almost feels like you're communal painting, you're painting alongside other people. It's not as good as actually going into a store and communal paint and painting alongside other people, but you know, it's not far off. But I actually was watching. So I've always, when I've got ready for work, I sit down and watch TV. But I'm watching like DVDs rather than, or Blu-rays rather than actual TV, because I hate adverts on TV. So I was watching The Royal Family, which is a comedy. which is 20 years old now. Well, most of it is 20 years old anyway. It's one of them shows where there's never going to be any more of them, because I think both the lead writers have passed away now, so... And then I started watching Star Trek Next Generation last night. I finished Encounter at Farpoint, and then next episode of season 1. And I got the Bloodletters all got their bodies and their legs built. So today is going to be arms, heads, and done. So just trying to be a bit productive with my time, and it is working. So I mean, I could use that hour or two to paint some more, but if I did that, then I probably wouldn't want to go to work, so it's best I just do building or something. It turns out this video is going to be more about me edge highlighting this Stalker than anything else, but it's painting, it's got to be done, so it's fine. And I've got other bits done, so the Elder Ranger's got her armour finished, so that's not too bad. Okay, so just this bit of the... No, because I'm doing the wrong one. I wondered why, yeah. This is something I've done from time to time. End up edge highlighting the same thing I've already done and go, oh, it's done. And then I find the other leg isn't done. Yeah, I was listening to my iPod at work last night, the night before even, and listening to The Darkness. Now, some people won't know who they are, and yeah, I love their music, it's so good. Like, I would almost put them in the same bracket as Tenacious D for comedy rock. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh no, definitely not," but I think they are. Especially their older stuff. Their newer stuff is more proper rock rather than comedy, but. So just finish this forelimb and I can move on to something else. I'm doing this, I would normally start this about 5 or 6. I'm doing it a bit earlier today because my brother is coming over. I haven't seen him for a while, so yeah, there's too much paint on that bit. So yeah, my fine detail brushes are getting plenty of use at the moment. with all the edge highlighting on this thing and stuff. So I mean, the robot, apart from his eyes and a few other little bits and pieces, he's more or less finished. Obviously got to paint his base, but my plan is to get all of these models finished and then paint all the bases in one go. Saves me wasting paint. So now when it comes to building models, I've got one thing I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to bother building or not. Now, a few years ago, I bought a second Necron monolith. Back when I actually found them useful in 40k. Never got around to building it, and to be honest, now in 40k they suck. They are really quite bad. No one uses them. I mean, I've used them a couple of times. I've used one a couple of times, and it just is so bad. It's definitely not worth. I mean, it's more points than a Land Raider by far, and the Land Raiders can transport stuff, have better firepower. So yeah, it's frustrating that monoliths have become so useless. But what can you do? It's Games Workshop for you. But I love the look of the monolith, the actual model itself. The model itself isn't great, don't get me wrong, but the presence of it is awesome. The fact that it's one of those big dominating models in the centre of the battlefield. And it does draw a lot of firepower, it really does. But it needs one improvement. Just one to make it worthwhile. It needs a 2-up armor save. Done. Then it's useful. Right, so that's both 4 limbs of the Triarch Stalker done. Now I've got about another 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out the details on the Imperial robot. So the eyes, more or less just the eyes, and he's got like a hinge on the front of him, which is supposed to be green. So I'll probably paint that as well. In fact, let's do that right now because I've got green out. So have I painted this silver? No, I haven't painted silver. I'll paint one of his eyes green as well. He's got like a 3-eye piece thing. So it'll be blue, red and green. But I'm at a bit of a... I wouldn't say at a loss, because I can just go through my cases and pick stuff out to paint, but I don't know what I'm going to jump on next. Now if the contrast paints had been available, I might have jumped on and painted some Imperial Fists, but they're not. They will be. It won't be too far away, I wouldn't think, but Okay. And I need a tiny bit of red for one of his other bit of his eye. Now this is the model. When I played Blackstone Fortress, I was this guy. He's supposed to be a bit of a tank and take a lot of damage, but he's only got 3 health, whereas everyone else has 4. So he can't really take that much damage. Like, he recovers quicker than the others, but he takes damage just as quickly as everyone else. And then 3 hit points and he's done. So I'm not going to bother putting this onto the palette because I need so little of it. Just paint that little red lens on his shoulder as well. He's got like a little light on his stomach. He's like a Teletubby. He's not. There you go. He's Teletubby with a gun. The light I'll come back to later, I think. I've got an idea how to paint it, but we'll see. And get a little bit of blue. Cantor blue. Actually, we're going to go Caldor Sky because I love Caldor Sky as a colour. It's like it's almost like a sky blue, therefore Caldor Sky. But it's got like a almost enchanted colour to it. That sounds really naff, but I know what I mean. It's got almost like a sea blue colour to it, you know. Picking out a few other little bits and pieces as well while I've got the blue open. I did promise the guys at the club that I'd have this painted by the summer. The Blackstone Fortress set, that is. And I'm on course to have that done, I reckon. Because this guy is more or less finished now. Now he's got like a plate on his shoulder. I want to paint that gold, or like a bronze. So I'm not going to actually paint that for now. But he is more or less done. He's I've got to do the base, and that's about it. A few little bits and pieces here and there, but that's that. Right. So let's paint. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back in I'll be back in a second. Right, so sorry about that, but I'm going to wrap this up for today. My brother's here now, so I'm going to go and have a bit of a chat and stuff. Thank you very much if you've listened to me rambling, as I always do. I will, if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. I do these once a week if I can. It's just something to have on in the background while you're painting, which is exactly what I do with other people's YouTube channels. This Death God Rhinos got a bit of dust on them now. They definitely need a case. So yeah, it's just a bit of a motivation to get painting done, which sometimes we all need a little bit of that. So thank you very much. I will see you next week. Bye bye.